week, which means a new batch of leaks for the iPhone 12. And this week we've got live photos, more renders, and plenty of news surrounding delays and features, so we're going to run through it all now. First of all, we're going to cover the news of the smallest version of the iPhone 12. Ming-Chi Kuo told us that there's going to be a 5.4-inch version of the upcoming iPhone 12, and we now have reports that are also confirming this. DigiTimes have reported that BOE Technology and General Interface Solutions are working together to produce the 5.4-inch touchscreen for the upcoming iPhone 12. While the smartphone industry tends to be getting larger and larger, it's great news for those who do want a smaller phone. We've also had news that Apple may be introducing a display that works underwater when it comes to the iPhone 12. Apple have filed a patent that's available to view in the USPTO database. The Apple iPhone 12 is coming with insane new features, and I'm going to be sharing the details right after this. 12 is of course going to be powered by the new A14 Bionic processor. This is actually manufactured using 5nm lithography, which will bring significant improvements, and there's a good chance that it will be the first 5nm chipset to hit the market. When it comes to RAM, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is expected to come with 6GB of RAM, while the standard iPhone 12 will only have 4. This is something that I think Apple actually do well compared to Android manufacturers, where they throw in unnecessarily large amount of memories, causing the consumer to pay for memory that they don't even need. When it comes to storage, we're expecting a choice of 64, 256 or 512GB of internal storage. For the first time ever, consumers felt Apple did a great job in prioritizing the battery life on the predecessor, so hopefully that's something that's going to continue with the iPhone 12. While graphene batteries are still out of the question, we can expect a 5.4-inch iPhone 12 to be around 2,800 mAh. The 6.1-inch is probably going to be around 3,150, and the 6.7-inch should contain around a 4,300 mAh battery. One thing that is a little unknown at the moment is of course 5G connectivity. Apple are very bad when it comes to 5G thanks to earlier issues with Qualcomm, so we're unsure at this stage if that's something we will see in the iPhone 12. It's rumored that the iPhone 12 is going to have 5G connectivity, but there aren't actually any leaks or reports to back that up. The iPhone 12 is going to be IP68 water resistant, and it's of course going to ship with iOS 14. Now when it comes to pricing, we of course want lower prices on the Apple iPhone 12, but it does seem unlikely. We did however have this with the predecessor when the base iPhone was actually cheaper than the XR, so it's not impossible. Unfortunately, material prices have increased this year, so I expect the smallest 5.4-inch iPhone to launch at around $750 or £800. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 to be around $900 or £950. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro to be $1,050 or £1,100, and finally the 6.7-inch iPhone 12 Pro to be about $1,200 or £1,250. Of course, it's not all about specs, and we're likely going to see some new software features or improvements to the current features in iOS 14. The iPhone 12 is set to launch in September as always, and it's always around the second week they release, so we can expect to see the iPhone 12 range on either the 8th or the 15th of September, and the iPhone 12 will be released about 10 days afterwards. Of course, being so far away, these are leaks and rumors, but as more information comes to light, I'll be sharing with you guys straight away. As always though, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. Who out there is waiting for the iPhone 12, and what model of the iPhone 12 are you waiting for? But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Another week has passed since my last video, and again we have more news on the Apple iPhone 12. We've had more beautiful concept videos from Concepts iPhone, along with some news of some very useful and highly anticipated features coming to the Apple iPhone 12. A Japanese blog has reported that the iPhone 12 is going to be supporting a new Wi-Fi standard known as 802.11ay. It's a new Wi-Fi spec on the 60 GHz spectrum, and it's going to provide faster speeds at the cost of a shorter range. One of the main uses of this ultra short range Wi-Fi will no doubt be for use of Apple's AirDrop, and of course to connect with other Apple devices in close proximity. But many are speculating that the reason for an ultra short range Wi-Fi will be to support Apple's. We also have news that the iPhone 12 may be the first Apple phone to work completely underwater. While the previous phones have been water resistant, anyone who's tried to use their phone underwater will know that it just doesn't work. The screen is completely unresponsive when submerged underwater thanks to the additional pressure applied to the display. And this news comes from another patent that was filed by Apple for an in-display pressure sensor that they're calling Force Touch. There's also news that the iPhone 12 is going to be coming with a smaller and faster charger thanks to new technology. They'll be achieving this by using a new gallium nitride technology that other manufacturers have already started using. It allows for the power adapters to be smaller in size while keeping the same wattage, and it's expected that the iPhone 12 may deliver up to 65-watt fast charging. This is great news if true, as when it comes to fast charging, Apple have always been a little bit behind the smartphone competition. Finally, we've got news that the iPhone 12 launch is not going to be delayed. While many worry that we may see delays thanks to the recent outbreak, Apple will be starting production earlier this time, as well as moving production to Vietnam where possible. Apple did previously issue an update for its investors to say there's going to be less Q2 profit than expected, but it seems that they're doing everything possible to keep the iPhone 12 launch on time. When it comes to the iPhone 12 though, one thing we haven't had leaked yet is the name. Although we're unlikely to see any radical changes, so we're going to assume for this video that it's called the Apple iPhone 12. We're expecting to get 4 new iPhone 12s in the range, which is going to be 2 different iPhone 12s, the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We're going to have an option. Reliable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has advised that there's going to be 2 iPhone 12 versions. The smaller iPhone 12 is going to have a 5.4-inch display, and the larger one will have a 6.1-inch. We then get a 6.1-inch display, which is the iPhone 12 Pro, and a 6.7-inch display, which is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Unlike last year, however, all models are reportedly going to be using an OLED display, and the resolution will differ across the range. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 will likely have a lower resolution than the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro. And while there are rumors of Apple removing the notch, I really can't see this happening. In typical Apple fashion, we're still expecting a full-screen display with a notch top center. It's too early for in-display camera sensors, and I can't see Apple going for a punch hole. They also need a time-of-flight sensor on the front for their 3D face unlock. And while Apple did ditch the fingerprint scanner on the iPhone X, there are reports that it's going to be coming back in the form of an in-display fingerprint scanner. There are reports suggesting that Apple are also going to be increasing their refresh rates on the latest displays. While most phones have stuck to 60Hz displays, it's been changing recently, and Apple are also going to be joining this trend. At this stage, we don't know if they're going to be using 90Hz, 120Hz, or even a mixture of the two across the range. When it comes to the rear of the device, we're expecting a similar camera setup to last year, but the more premium model will have more cameras. Ming-Chi Kuo has again advised that both the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are going to be adding time-of-flight cameras to the rear. For those unaware, time-of-flight cameras are 3D depth cameras, and then what Apple uses on the front for the 3D face unlock. The time-of-flight sensors on the rear, however, use slightly different technology that allow it to map 3D objects from further away. This significantly improves augmented reality applications and allows for more improved portrait-style photo and video effects. We're likely going to see slight upgrades on the other cameras of the iPhone 12s, but given the great performance in its predecessor, they won't be changing things too much. Reports are suggesting that the 2 more budget models are going to have a dual camera setup, while the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are going to have a quad camera setup with the inclusion of the 3D depth camera. The iPhone